This is the ABCs of Loona part 3.5. Last time we took a closer look at the OEC members' solo MVs and the reveal teaser, and today we will take a closer look at the group MVs, which are Girlfriend, Lunatic and Sweet Crazy Love. But since Lunatic mostly features alternate scenes and outtakes from the solo MVs as well as the Girlfriend MV, I'm not going to do an in-depth analysis of this MV. The debut MV for the OEC members was Girlfriend, one of the most iconic Loona songs ever. Girlfriend has white waters, and the intro combines the blue, purple and red openings of the members with the black background, going from left to right before eclipsing red. To start, let's take a quick look at what we can see in the MV before we put the puzzle pieces together. The MV starts off with Kimlip holding a cassette player, which some of my viewers maybe don't know how cassette players work, so I will quickly explain it. So cassette tapes are made with a plastic film with magnetic coating. What most people know them for is for playing music, but they were also used to store video recordings and data storage. They were a cheap and easy way to listen to music, and one of the first ways to listen to music on the go, through using a cassette player, also known as a Walkman, which is also what Kimlip is using in the MV. In particular, she is using the TPS L2, the first ever produced Walkman, which was published and sold in June of 1979 in Japan. It is important to know because most people will not know that if you wanted to listen to the tape for a second time, you had to play back the whole cassette tape. By turning it back one whole time, you could listen to it again one whole time before repeating the process. So what is Kimlip doing? She's pressing the right button, which is the playback button. Kimlip is rewinding the tape and possibly time itself, which is also symbolized in the bracelet she wears, which is in the form of a Mobius strip. A Mobius strip is a one-sided surface that loops indefinitely. And in order to listen to the tapes a second time, you have to rewind it and start at the front again, so also symbolizing a repetition of some sorts. What I also didn't know before researching it is that you can use a Mobius twist on a cassette tape. This makes the tape loop by itself without having to rewind it. Also, please remember that cassette tapes can also record video. These tapes are most widely known as VHS tapes. And in my opinion, BB's MV and the Rain 51dB MV could very well be VHS/cassette recordings. So keep this in mind. Also, in a way, it could be a cool little reference to BB losing her memories, because the video/audio on these magnetic tapes can easily be erased or damaged. So BB having broken memories could be because her memories were stored on a VHS tape. Now she presses the start button again and the tape starts spinning. We see through the eyes of an observer that is peeking at Kimlip from behind a wall. The music starts playing and the camera pans towards Kimlip before there's a fast zoom in and Kimlip turns around to smile at us, / probably the observer that was standing behind the wall. Now she starts running and the camera does what seems to me like a vertigo effect / dolly zoom, which distorts the background by moving towards or away from a subject and then zooming in or out. In this case, the camera follows Kimlip and zooms out, which makes it kind of look like Kimlip is running further away in a faster time, by making her surroundings appear bigger and making her seem smaller. Now we see a grassy field that is going to appear later on in this MV as well. After this, we see the ground of the scene from before and a ground that looks like the ground from the scene afterwards. In a way, Kimlip scouts out these surroundings and then went backwards to tell the other members where they should go, but more on that later. Also, she is wearing her Converse again, and they are a signature piece of clothing for the OEC members. Kimlip is standing in front of a red brick building and makes a reference to her solo, Eclipse, with the lyrics and this part of the choreo. Only I could see you, as we go from Kimlip to Jinsoul. Interesting. I get drawn to you more and more, as we go from Jinsoul to Choerry. Even more interesting. Choerry is on her head like we saw her in Love Cherry Motion. She is holding a map and seemingly is looking for something. Also, I don't know how American license plates work, but I'm strongly guessing that this scene was mirrored as well. This kind of fits the whole mirror Choerry theme of this MV. Now another reference to a solo, a reference to Laughter Emotion. Also, it is interesting to me that this brick wall building is now pink instead of red. Choerry maybe does have some effect on the Loonaverse with her assigned color being white. Now we see the map Choerry was looking at. It has an owl on it, Kimlip's assigned animal, and a symbol for all of the Loona 1/3 members, a bunny for Heejin, a cat for Hyunjin, a bird for Hasul, and a deer for Bibi. It also has a lot of other red marks, maybe those are points of interest to the members, but I don't know. More of Kimlip running. And now we see the members in outfits with their representative colors. And earlier on we also saw the members with their representative colors, but as a background color, and they are wearing Mobius strip bracelets. Again, the Mobius strip being known as a one-sided surface with an indefinite loop. More of Kimlip running and more strange looking zooms. Now we see the scene from the beginning again, where Kimlip is turning around and it quickly cuts to Choerry, now being in the place from before. We can now see that it is an abandoned amusement park. Also, this massive Ferris wheel is yellow, seems like a reference to the fact that Hyunjin seems to overlook the members' doings. Choerry sees the Ferris wheel and decides to mark this on the map as a point of interest with a orange cat sticker. Obviously being a reference to Hyunjin, who then blinds Choerry with a light to get her attention. She is wearing a quite similar outfit in denim and she starts to run away from Choerry. Also notice how the colors in this scene are mostly yellow and purple. This scene from before is played again and it reveals to us that this is Choerry running after Hyunjin. But she wasn't fast enough and looks a little bit annoyed. Next is the purple background Choerry talking to herself scene. In my last video I already talked about this in detail, but I'm still going to at least mention it here, since not everyone watches every video of mine, sadly. We see Choerry talk to herself and then it switches to her covering her eyes. And now she thinks about opening her eyes every day and thinking of you first thing in the morning. While Choerry's odd eye awakens and looks at the other Choerry who is talking to her. I theorized that this is not literally Choerry talking to herself, but Choerry talking to her mirror member. To the members she has a connection to. And these members are Hyunjin and Yves. In this instance we see her encounter Hyunjin right before this Choerry talking to herself scene, making me believe that this is Hyunjin talking to Choerry. Now Jinsoul is holding her hands in front of her eyes before we see her back and she turns towards us, just for her to teleport to another place from before. Jinsoul switches to Kimlip again. Now we see the members seemingly trying to find each other or to backtrack what they did, because we see Jinsoul do her teleport move, then Jinsoul going towards the location of the scene from before, someone walking on the broken ground and Jinsoul doing her teleportation move again, just for her to turn around and look confused, and Kimlip and Choerry also looking around in confusion. Maybe there's someone watching them or trying to reach them, perhaps underlined by the scene from Choerry with her colored background, symbolizing her power, which is to reach out to members. What also is quite interesting to me is the fact that Jinsoul and Kimlip have matching tops, and Choerry wears the matching pattern on her pants, kind of turning around things in another way. Her odd eye is the reverse, she is shown a lot on her head, she wears matching pants instead of a matching shirt. We see the yellow truck from Hasul's MV on a snowy road before showing it in the desert that the other circle members are located in. Maybe the other circle members were the ones to lead Hasul to the plane. And the car is mirrored by Kimlip running. Now we see Choerry looking at the map again, but notice how this is her outfit from the beginning of the MV. This is not her desert outfit, but her denim outfit. She finds a mirror and decides to make a paper plane out of the map. Also notice the frog on the map. This is Hyunjin's assigned animal and she is known to jump around curiously. Jumping around, being curious like some kind of overly zealous girl. Hyunjin or a circle member confirmed. She throws the plane and it lands seemingly later on in the day or earlier on and is found by another Choerry. This Choerry has the desert outfit. Also notice how the cat sticker is gone. The paper plane made from a map is another reference to Hustle, who had a lot of paper plane symbolism in her MV. Jinsoul turning around in all of the different locations, probably telling us that she can teleport in space. And the last teleport is to the desert with her desert outfit. Now we see Jinsoul turning around, standing on top of a building together with Choerry and Kimlip. Now we can see what I meant when I said all of their colors combined to create the quote-unquote moon. In the sky there is a red, blue and purple eclipse / circular shape. This to me is a symbol for them finishing their work on Middle Earth, creating a bridge between Earth and Eden and creating their own little utopia. They proudly look at their creation and then look kind of angry at the camera. Since we sometimes see the Loonaverse through the eyes of an observer, I'm guessing that we might see the members through the eyes of an observer that the girls just notice, which makes them look at this observer kind of annoyed. Now we see Kimlip running again, which switches to all of the members running this time, even in different outfits from before, in the sun setting / sun rising desert. They run towards the yellow truck and seem to have a lot of fun. Now, something that I myself can't quite figure out is Kimlip shooting the air with her Eye activating, which switches to the Kimlip from the beginning of the MV turning around. This could be another part of Kimlip's powers, maybe sending informations back in time or forward in time. Again, underlined by Kimlip standing in front of her colored background, which symbolizes their powers. Now we see a continuation from the scene from before, where Jinsoul turned around and there was nobody there. But now it switches to Hyunjin turning around in shock, and she wears a similar outfit to the other circle members. A lot of orbits theorize that Hyunjin might be a secret other circle member because she has a primary color assigned to her, and she switches parts with Choerry in the Love and Live 2.0 version. So what I can say about this, just like I said in my last video, I think that all of the members have some kind of odd eye, that they can see oddness around them and that they in some form possess powers. But that the other circle members have a different kind of odd eye, since they can not only see oddness but control it and create things with the powers. Like jumping around through time and space, traveling through the realms and creating their own realm. So now it switches from Hyunjin to someone blinding Choerry with the compact mirror again. But this is not Hyunjin, since the shirt does not have a green stripe, so it could be Yves. And it switches to Choerry holding her hand in front of her eyes to shield them. The members sit in a circle in a dark and bland space. This could be the Middle Earth that has not been formed by the other circle members' influences yet. So basically the place we saw in Jinsoul's MV. Maybe they plan out their creation of Middle Earth and their plans to find other girls with some kind of oddness. Since we can also see the other member symbols on the map, this seems highly likely. We see the 1/3 members on the top of the map, and then on the bottom we see the members that have some kind of odd-eye powers. Then Choerry points to the owl sticker, like they are planning for Kimlip to go to this position. Now we can see the Mobius loop and Jinsoul touches her own shoulder. But notice how this Jinsoul has a denim jacket and the other one doesn't. This could mean that while the Mobius strip is looping, this doesn't mean that the loops are playing out the exact same way. Now Choerry is throwing a paper plane map and it touches her in the back before she turns around. The members are sitting in a circle again and there's someone running around them. Then we get quick shots of the cassette tape, Choerry blinding someone with a compact mirror and a paper plane in her hand. The scene from before with the unknown person blinding someone. Choerry now in the blank void where they sat together, and you can see a blonde person in the background. What I might have to add to this kind of thing where you can communicate with someone via light signal is a real thing. You can give code signals to other people miles and miles away just by reflecting the light over and over again. So maybe this is less of a blinding and more of a communication technique. Now the members all sit together on the truck and we get to see Kimlip, who possibly is the only one that is able to navigate the Mobius strip. Unlike the other members that were just communicating with their other versions, Kimlip is running from one to another end. Maybe this could also mean that she cannot break the loop, but to me it seems more like her powers to turn back time or some kind of cheat code. She can manipulate the outcomes of the Loonaverse and possibly even the outcomes of the other timeline. Hence why in Air Force 1 Kimlip gets to keep her color, because she is the only one that is still the original member. It is revealed to us that the observer from the beginning of the MV was the time-traveling Kimlip. She looks at herself from the past, and who knows, but maybe this is a trial and error thing where Kimlip runs back in time and gives her newfound informations to her past self until they complete their mission to create Middle-earth. Now the tape is run backwards again, another symbol for turning back time and traveling back in time. So now let's quickly go over the interesting bits of the Lunatic MV. It has white borders and the same intro as the Girlfriend MV. Besides the scenes that are outtakes and scenes that were already featured in their solo MVs or the reveal teaser, we have Jinsoul looking out of a building which looks like the building in the Love Cherry Motion MV where she is observing Choerry. The Odd Eye Circle members are shown playing a game that looks like a Korean game where they decide who has to do something. Maybe they decide on which position each member has in their master plan, but who knows. We get another clear shot at these symbols in the upper right corner. A girl with a tape recorder / Walkman, which seems to be the same Walkman that Kimlip uses to rewind time. I'm still not quite sure in which order these scenes play out, but I'm strongly guessing that the members meet up in this empty Middle-earth, then the scene plays out, and maybe Yves leaves the Walkman with the members for Kimlip to be able to rewind time. Then the events in the MV play out, meaning Hyunjin and Yves trying to reach Choerry, the Odd Eye Circle members creating their perfect Middle-earth, and at the end of the day Choerry is using a tunnel as a passageway to Earth or Eden, who knows. And then the cinema theory video happens in which Yves is finally able to reach Choerry. And in a way the makeup compact mirror being whole again could be a symbol for that. This far Yves was only able to blind Choerry to get her attention, but now Yves herself can communicate with her, hence the makeup is together with the mirror again. Yves gives her an apple and probably is telling her about her plans now. The members seem confused, and I think that just like the viewer is unable to see the girl's face, the members are unable to see her fully as well. As we can see in this behind the scenes video from the Loona TV episode 204, the person running around them is played by Hyunjin. But in the description for the Girlfriend MV it says, another girl yet to be introduced revolves around Odd Eye Circle, so it is probably Yves, played by Hyunjin because Yves was yet to debut. Now let's read the description for Girlfriend. The girls' stories get deeper and deeper. The story that began with Heejin's Vivid created a group named 3, composed of Heejin, Hyunjin, and Hasul. Yeojin added / while BB added 1 to complete Loona 1/3. Kimlip with Eclipse, Jinsoul with Singing in the Rain, and Choerry with Love Cherry Motion gathered to create a new group, Odd Eye Circle, to start a new story. Plenty of imageries and metaphors are in Loona's music, lyrics, albums, and music videos for fans to search for, like puzzle pieces to complete. For instance, the word odd in Odd Eye Circle is used as its original definition, but is also an image of 3 moons together. Odd Eye Circle's musical story, told by 3 odd girls, has just started. Odd, the intro track, expresses Odd Eye Circle's identity. Girls who have released solo singles each have gathered to sing under the name Odd Eye Circle. They say that we're all odd as people, a reference to what I've been saying this far, that all of the members experience strange things and can do some of the things Odd Eye Circle members can, but they are less in control of it. Let's continue. Girlfriend is the title track of Odd Eye Circle. While Loona 1/3 has drawn a picture of girls having a crush, Odd Eye Circle sings, "Love is not to be waited for, it is something I look for." This song depicts new standards of girls saying that they would ask the boy out first, and expressing their love with dignity. The track is structured in a way that Kimlip's Eclipse, Jinsoul's Singing in the Rain, and Choerry's Love Cherry Motion mix and match, to show how 3 moons, odd, gather to form a new team. The music video was shot in Los Angeles, and the group's links to Loona 1/3 are hidden in the video, like puzzle pieces for the fans to find. Another girl yet to be introduced revolves around Odd Eye Circle. Chaotic, a track that emphasizes Odd Eye Circle's vocalist techniques. Thus, you can feel Odd Eye Circle's unique charm as they can express their music to be man-ish. Fans who like Loona 1/3 might be surprised with Odd Eye Circle, as their music is in the complete opposite style. While Loona 1/3 was focused to create sounds of cliché images of young girls, Odd Eye Circle is creating their music in the original shape of girl crush in the form of pop tunes. They've put stories among girls more important than stories about boys into this track, Starlight. Stories told under the starlight endlessly until the morning comes. Having started with the idea of solos gathering to make units, and units gathering to create a whole world, Loona can finally show its bigger picture via the introduction of Odd Eye Circle. The girls will continue working as solos, units, and as a whole. Loona's concept, which is being prepared, will be the stage for 12 solo artists, 3 teams, and one whole complete group in a splendid setup for everyone to be amused. And just something that I thought about is, if they speak of 3 units and Yeojin is lost in the forest, that seemingly could be the forest in Eden, then was Yeojin maybe supposed to be part of YYYY? And then maybe they scratched the idea because Loona 1/3 and YYYY are mirrors of each other, and then you would have one more member on one side opposed to the other. After Girlfriend comes Sweet Crazy Love. The MV has white borders, and this time their opening is in black and white with the white eclipse. This is quite interesting to me because in Kimlip's and Jinsoul's solo MVs, the black and white shots seemingly were there to contrast them awakening their powers and letting their colors bloom. So the black and white shots were there to symbolize them not having their powers awakened. So this MV starts off with showing us that this is a prequel, so that this plays out before their solo MVs and before they awaken their odd eye, as well as letting their colors bloom. The MV starts off in black and white, with a really dark shot of an eye, Yves' eye. Like Heejin said in Vivid, a world that is lacking color. She, just like the others, was unable to see oddness before awakening her powers. In her case, that was through eating her assigned fruit, an apple, and opening her eyes to the oddness of the world. Remember that this does not mean that she has an odd eye. She blinks, and all of a sudden there is light. In contrast to Kimlip's eye that was seen later on in the MV, she has just a normal eye without any contact lens inside. And whilst Kimlip opens her eyes and sees color, Yves just opens her eyes and it stays in black and white. Again showing us that Yves does not awaken her powers or letting her colors bloom, because she just is not a Odd Eye Circle member. Also, this to me seems like just another hint at Yves observing them and planning out something behind the scenes. She is the first member to notice these powerful girls and their potential. We see Jinsoul sitting in a train. Remember that almost any type of transit in the Loonaverse can also be a symbol for traveling through the different realms of the Loonaverse. Next we see Choerry in a parking garage and she has a backpack on. Remember this for later. Now we see Kimlip walking through an alleyway that is really dark, just for her to walk towards a light source, and we see that she also has a backpack on. She turns around in confusion, like she doesn't know where she is or where she is going. The music stops as she looks around, just for her to take off her backpack and start dancing. This might be a little difficult for non-Korean fans to notice, but this sign says Mobius, and it is mirrored. And in the back there, that is the soul sign that was also featured in the FOS1 MV. This time it is not mirrored though. Next we see Jinsoul in the train also start to dance. I also have to add that I think that this MV plays out mostly in the in-between world / Middle Earth, since we don't get to see any people around the members. All of the members probably were on their way back home from school, which explains them wearing uniforms and backpacks and being confused on where they are, because they just wanted to go home but accidentally ended up traveling through realms. This is also why I think that Yves' MV mostly plays out in Middle Earth as well. Also notice how Jinsoul is wearing an eye patch. In my opinion, Jinsoul was the first one to notice her oddness, and the eye patch is her way of not wanting to be different, not wanting this to be true. So she goes to the eye doctor and he just tells her to ignore it, basically. Choerry now also takes off her backpack and is starting to dance. Another shot of an eye, this time the pupil is getting smaller, Now we can see another sign in the background. This time it says Eclipse. Also we switch from Kimlip dancing to Choerry and then Jinsoul. Again showing that Choerry is in between the two other members, like a connecting piece. Now we get some really fast shots of what seems to me like Jinsoul's eye. And the blurry thing in the front is some kind of eye doctor tool. Then smoke, like we saw in Kimlip's and Jinsoul's MV, when they awakened their powers and let their colors bloom. Then the owl eye from Kimlip's MV, then what could be blood particles under a microscope, which could be interesting. Like their powers take over their bodies, like some kind of odd eye blood cells. Then we see blood running down skin, and it kind of looks like it's on a hand because you can see the knuckles. Then we can see white, then black, then the moon we saw in the solo MVs and the reveal teaser, then black again, then Kimlip's eye with a contact lens, then a white beam over the eye, and then back to Jinsoul, Kimlip and Choerry dancing. Now what is kind of interesting, Kimlip starts to have blurry vision and rubs her eye. The soul sign in the back is now mirrored. Jinsoul is testing her eyesight with a tool that covers up the left eye, and then she sees the numbers and letters blurry. And now quick flashes of Kimlip's eye with the white and now also black beam. Switching to Choerry now holding her left eye in pain as well. Again we see pictures flashing. It is a really dark scene of Yves' eye, then her eye but it's lighter. But she is looking in the direction Choerry was in. Then black, then white, then black again. Then an eye using eye drops, more smoke, more blurry numbers. Kimlip's eye with the beam, but now it's closed. Just to open up, and then Jinsoul looking around confused, seeing everything blurry again with what seems like a figure standing there. And it seems like she is in the parking lot Choerry is in, just to switch to Choerry walking up some stairs. Then a fish struggling in the hands of someone because it can't breathe. Then the close-up of an eye again. Then Choerry standing in a long dark hallway just to sit down, probably because she feels dizzy. Then the iconic scene of Jinsoul in the train, just for someone to take one of her earbuds out and the music stops playing. This is just speculation, but this hand looks like Yves' hand. She has a slightly bigger thumb and otherwise petite small hands, but Jinsoul herself has kind of similar hands, so take this with a grain of salt. It is not really proving anything, but besides this, it is really fitting for this to be Yves' hand. We see her eye throughout the MV, and she's trying to contact the members in this MV, as well as in the Girlfriend MV and their solos. This seems like her trying to get Jinsoul's attention, just like she blinded Choerry to get her attention. We now see that the earbud fell next to a fish in a bag. It could be that she had this fish with her, but I feel somewhat like this fish is just now there and that Jinsoul only notices this odd fish next to her because of the earbud scene. Kind of like Yves wanted her to awaken her powers to let the fish outside of its confinements. We get some more dance scenes, then some fast shots from Choerry dancing to smoke, Jinsoul with her eye being in darkness besides her left eye, eye drops, and I think this is Choerry's eye, microscopic blood, even more blood running down someone's hand, then black, then white, the now dead fish in someone's hand, black, and then again the moon, then black, then white, and the members dancing again. Can we also talk about the fact that these flashing scenes are at 1:36 and 2:36? Kind of cool. The person with the dead fish in hand now closes their hand, maybe symbolizing the whole burn yourself aspect that was introduced later on in the lore. And in a way it could also symbolize the two timelines theory, in which one timeline achieves their dreams just for another one to suffer. In this case, Hi achieving their dreams and Butterfly suffering because of it. And this could be a symbol for the butterfly Jinsoul, who is symbolized by this fish, is suffering because of Jinsoul awakening her odd eye powers and achieving her goals. But I don't know. After this, Choerry is holding hands with her shadow. Maybe she can feel someone wanting to contact her. And also she is in a staircase, so a place of transit. That could mean that she can come closer to the members in the other realms. that are trying to contact her, just like Olivia Hay exits Eden through a staircase. The scene from before, but this time the person is a little closer to Jinsoul, and it switches to an eye dilating again. The train is pretty dark now, and Jinsoul noticed the fish in the back. She looks at it and takes off her eye patch. Now Jinsoul's eye is shining blue. Seeing something extraordinary made her odd eye powers activate. Choerry now seemingly was picked up by someone and is sleeping while driving by Kimlip. Choerry opens her eyes slightly, like she noticed something, and this is awakening Kimlip's odd eye. Now we see red smoke, a red moon, the red owl eye, red blood under a microscope, black, more smoke, an eclipse, red, and Kimlip opening her odd eye that not only has the contact lens, but also is shining red. She is trying to run after Choerry, but the car obviously is faster. Around her, her powers make the light bulbs explode. Also notice the moon posters around her and the red and blue Lunatic sign. Also notice the sign in the background. It says the backside of the moon in Korean. After this we see Kimlip in red smoke, then Jinsoul in blue, and Choerry in purple. They let their colors bloom. And we see them dance in the places from before, but they are colored now. Choerry has a lot of white in her place and Jinsoul has a lot of black, so they also incorporated their secondary assigned colors. After this, Kimlip picks up her backpack, but now leaving her bag revealed to us, and goes to the big round building to perform her eclipse ritual. This sign in the back was very difficult to read, but together with the Loona TV episode 222, I was able to make out that this means starlight in Korean. So let's take a look at the description. Loona started with a system where each member of the group has their own character as a solo artist who will gather up to form a unit, which will also bond to become one whole team. The story of the development is built within the organic relationship among any members or units. Loona Odd Circle consists of 3 extraordinary girls to complete 3 moons. Mix and Match, a repackaged album following the release of Mix and Match, is an expression of the will to surpass the limits of Odd Circle once again. The intro track of Mix and Match, Ad, is a new take on the music from the teaser video clip for Odd Circle Reveal. It starts with a dreamy ambience, which beats were then added. The title track Sweet Crazy Love is a prequel to the birth of Odd Circle, depicting the identity of Odd Circle. With the spell cast by the sweet but zealous girls at the beginning of the song by saying "Hey boy," the music is already complete. Sweet Crazy Love is a track which exquisitely incorporates the chord work of an R&B song with the danceability of a pop tune to add charisma to sweetness. Expanding its universe with the unit from Loona 1/3 to Loona Odd Circle, Loona only has 4 more members to go to complete the zodiac signs.